Welcome back to Cooking in College, the show that teaches you how to make delicious, easy, and affordable meals. I'm your host, Paige. Today we're going to be making barbecue chicken, mashed potatoes, and corn on the cob. First we're starting with our mashed potatoes. I'm using just red potatoes, so I just cleaned off the skin before I started because we're going to keep the skin on while we cook them. You can peel the skin if you would like to. And so we're just going to cut it into little pieces so that it'll boil through easier. And we have a pot of boiling water here. I'd say it's about 8 cups of water. And we're just going to be placing carefully our potatoes into the water. Oops, dropped one. Because you don't want to get burned. And you can use any sort of potato. I like red, or I also like Yukon Gold potatoes. Those are also good. Idaho potatoes are fine too. They're just a little more starchy. So those are usually the baking potatoes that you would use. But, yeah. Ooh. And we're going to start prepping our barbecue chicken. I'm using just tenders of chicken, and they're boneless, skinless, and I cut them into bite-sized pieces. So it's really small. And we're just going to be marinating the chicken in some like honey barbecue sauce. You can use whatever sort of barbecue sauce you'd like. Smoke barbecue sauce that we're using. So I just take my zip-loc bag and I put my chicken in there. And then I'm going to wash my hands again real fast. And you just want to cover the chicken in the barbecue sauce so that it gets a nice glaze when you cook it. You don't want to like overcoat it and then it'll be, you know, too barbecue-y, but yeah. So we're just going to open ours and dunk it in there. And then I usually just mix it with my hands to see if it's getting coated. Make sure we have enough. So I like to do a little bit more. Just coat it in there. And I mean, again, you can use however much you like. And I'm using, let's see, 6 tenders, because there's 3 of us, so I figured 2 tenders for each of us. And I also use 6 potatoes too. So we're just going to set that aside. Okay. So now we're going to be making the corn on the cob. I'm going to be cooking the corn on the cob in the microwave today, and we're just using fresh corn on the cob from the store. You can buy frozen and boil it, or you can just boil this. It'll take a lot longer though. So we're going to be taking some plastic wrap, and we're going to be putting butter onto covering our corn on the cob in butter. I mean, you don't have to put that much. You can put however much you like. But I like butter, so, you know, it's going to be, whoop. And I just like to do it with my hands because it's a lot easier. And just cover it in the butter. And then we're going to wrap it in the saran wrap. And these will only take 5 to about 8 minutes in the microwave, so we'll also set that aside. And I think our potatoes are about done. So I'm just going to put this away and then rinse my hands. So we're going to check our potatoes and see if they're soft. You want to stick a fork in there, and you want to be careful, and you want to just see if it crumbles as you put the fork in, which it does. And these take about 10 minutes. So if you could see when I put my fork in, it just completely like breaks off the sides. So we're going to turn off the heat and take our colander. And we're going to pour it away from us. Strain it in there. And then you just want to give it a good shake to drain it out. And we're going to get a bowl out, just a big mixing bowl, and our hand mixer. Like I said, if you don't have a hand mixer, you can use a masher, or you can attempt to use your hands, but it's very hot, so you want to be careful. So we're just going to get this ready. And we'll leave that and we'll start cooking our corn and our chicken. So I'm just going to put the corn in here in the microwave for 5 minutes and let that cook. And we're going to turn our pan, our chicken pan, on medium-high, and I'm going to spray it with some cooking spray. And as that heats, we can put our potatoes into the bowl. And to flavor the potatoes, I put milk and butter and salt, of course. So we'll get out a stick of butter. I like to do it I basically do it and then taste it to see how much. We'll start with a half of a stick of butter to start. Get this. But you never know how much we're going to need. So I think our pan is getting pretty hot. So we'll just put our chicken on there. Nice and covered in the barbecue sauce. And I like to cook chicken in bits and pieces, well, bite-sized pieces, because it cooks so much faster. Get that all on there. And then this is easy because you can just throw it away. Not messy. And we'll take out our tongs, and again, if you don't have tongs, you can use a fork. But you just want to be careful.